the sapphire skies of Zereth, two suns burned eternally, one golden, one violet, and under their light stood the crystal citadel of the alien king, Zorath. He was tall, crowned with silver horns that shimmered like moonlit blades, and his voice carried the calm weight of thunder restrained. Beside him had always been Queen Ilara, a human, the first ever to walk the jeweled halls of Zyreth as consort to an alien monarch. She had arrived from Earth as part of a diplomatic exchange decades ago, when peace between humans and Zyrathians was a fragile dream. Zorath and Ilara had made it real. Together, they turned suspicion into trust, fear into alliance. Their love was the proof that two worlds could coexist, but time, as always, demanded its toll. The Zyrathian High Council gathered one dusky evening, their crystalline bodies reflecting the dim light like stained glass. The elder speaker leaned forward, eyes pulsing in shades of red. "Your Majesty," he said, "the royal line must continue. You have no heir. Without one, the Empire's soul weakens." Zorath's silver hands clenched around the edge of his throne. "Ilara is my chosen. The bond between us is sacred," the council murmured, polite yet firm. "A sacred bond does not preserve a kingdom, my king." That night, Zorath stood at the balcony of the citadel, looking down at the glowing rivers below. Ilara approached quietly. Her human form was fragile among the towering spires, yet her gaze was steady. "They spoke to you again," she said. He turned away. "They question what cannot be changed."
"Because I cannot give you a child," she whispered.
He said nothing. The silence stretched between them, longer than any night before. Ilara stepped closer. "You once told me love was stronger than lineage." "I did," he said, "and I meant it." "Then why do I feel like you're already leaving me?" Zorath looked at her, really looked. The woman who had crossed the stars for him, who had learned his language, shared his throne, endured the cold of Zyrath's twin winters and the suspicion of his people, and yet the eyes of his ancestors haunted him. The ghosts of kings past whispered that love without legacy was a hollow flame. Weeks passed. The council's pressure grew heavier. Envoys arrived from distant moons, offering noble daughters of pure Zerathian descent. Rumors spread among the citizens that their king's human queen had failed him, that the gods disapproved of the union. Zorath resisted for a while, until one morning the court assembled under the violet sun. The air was sharp with tension as the king stood beside his throne, Ilara beside him, calm but pale. "My people," Zorath began. "The royal bond must ensure the survival of the Zyrathian line. Though my heart belongs to Queen Ilara, I can no longer defy the will of our ancestors." Ilara lowered her gaze, her hands trembling slightly. She did not cry. She only said softly, "I understand." He stepped down from the dais and placed a small crystal circlet, their marriage sigil in her hand. "You will always have a home here," he said, "and a place in my soul." Ilara smiled faintly. "But not in your future." She left that evening in a silver ship bound for the outer colonies, alone, but proud. Years passed. Zorath took another mate, a Zyrathian noblewoman. The kingdom prospered. An heir was born. Peace remained. But in the quiet hours when both suns set and the stars whispered beyond the veil, the king would still visit the balcony. He would gaze at the twin moons, one golden, one pale, and remember the woman who had once believed that love could unite worlds. One day, as the Empire celebrated his son's coming of age, a messenger brought news from the outer colonies. The queen of the humans, for Ilara had become one in her own right, had died peacefully, surrounded by scholars and starlight. Zorath said nothing for a long while. Then he dismissed his court, walked alone to the balcony, and released a small shard of glowing crystal into the night. The same sigil she once held, it floated upward, catching the violet sun's last light, and dissolved among the stars. And for the first time in decades, the alien king whispered her name, softly, reverently, like a prayer lost to eternity.